Yeah, wow.
This story is about a resolution made, a resolution broken, and a resolution helped out and remade, I guess you could say. We went on a work rafting trip when I was working in Portland, Oregon, on the Clackamas River, and there was three boats, rafts, full of workmates, six of us in each raft. And the deal was that one of my friends was going to re-enlist. I'm in the Coast Guard, and so he was going to re-enlist on this trip. And he had taken along a person to re-enlist him to say the oath, and he had also taken along his daughter, a beautiful daughter, about 12 years old. And the trip was great. We had a lot of fun. I had never rafted before, and we got to a spot where they were going to do this re-enlistment, and the spot was on sort of a cliff overhanging the Clackamas River, and it was about 30 feet or so. Now, we beached the rafts, we climbed up to the cliff, and we had some lunch, and then they stood at the edge of the cliff. So, and the people were, going to jump off the cliff. So we knew kind of in advance that this is going to happen. And I am pretty afraid of heights. But it's like, I don't want to seem a wimp, and it is water I'm going into, so it should be soft landing. And when you keep looking over the edge, 30 feet tends to increase tenfold every time you look over. So, but by the time they were getting ready to do their re-enlistment, 30 feet seemed like 300 feet to me. So they did the re-enlistment, and he and the guy who re-enlisted him jumped off, and then a couple other people followed. They jumped off, and I'm standing and I'm pacing and I'm walking around, and I've got my resolve going, and I'm gonna jump. It just takes a few steps. I'm gonna run and jump and leap into the air and nothing, and then land, and I'll be fine. However, one of the guys had his girlfriend with him, and he jumps off, and she's at the edge, and she stops, and she doesn't know if she's gonna do it or not, and I'm next. Well, I'm just waiting. There's just a little break in the momentum for me. But then she sits down at the spot where you're going to jump off and says, I don't know if I can do it. Now, there are 10 feet on either side of her that I could have walked around and jumped off, But the fact that she stopped at the spot that I was going to jump off at really put just a shut the door on my momentum. And I was like, what are you doing? In my mind. I'm not telling her that, but because I have some empathy for her. She doesn't want to jump off, like I don't want to jump off. But she's just saying, I can't do it, and she gets up, and then she gets back from the edge, and then she turns around, and then she sits back down again, and now I'm getting, upset because her whole scene broke my scene, and my resolution is poof, gone in the air. And I'm just thinking, I'm not going to do this. I can't do this. She is just messing me up here, and I'm done. I can't jump off. So while she's doing her bit, sitting up, getting up, sitting back down, I walk back, and the guy who re-enlisted, his daughter's there. She's standing there, and then for conversation and to kind of get my nerves maybe back simmering down a bit, I say, are you going to jump off? And she looks at me with big brown eyes, and she says, I will, if you will. Well, that pretty much did it for me then, because then if I would have had to, sort of turn in my man card, had I said, no, I'm not going to dump it, you go, So by this time, the non-jumper, as she was now known, cleared out of the way from the spot, and we held hands and stepped off into the unknown, and went down and hit the water, and everything was fine. So my resolution was kept, thanks to a beautiful 12-year-old daughter of my friend.